Hi, this is Den from Den's Diatribes.
And I'm the Wolfman. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Well, we're going to try something. We were just going to start a fire, but we decided to use a technique that I have never used personally before, but I've known about it for years and always wanted to try. It's called a Swiss chimney, I believe.
Swiss chimney. Awesome.
Okay, it's a pretty simple idea. If anyone knows what a rocket stove is, this is probably somewhat like a precursor. What you do is you take a log, or in my case, I took 2 pieces of old lumber, and you quarter it up, put it back together like so that you've created a rocket stove that actually burns. I don't know if you can see that from there. And that's how you start it. And it apparently creates an awful lot of heat for a very small fire that'll actually last quite a while.
All right, so what's our first step?
Well, as you can see, I've prepared what we're going to use, the burning material. I mean, in this case, I used some old recycled lumber, but you can use a log. Just split it into quarters. Then you just take out a bit of the inside, take it back 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I mean, you follow the wood grain, right? And you start the fire on the inside of it.
All right, so basically this is like a modified teepee, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've taken the inside of the wood, you've shaved it back so that when the 4 quarters go together, you have a hole inside where your small fire is going to sit. Does that sound about right?
That does sound about right.
Okay,
actually,
so
I hadn't thought of it that way.
our next step is to get some tinder put together and build a fire. So now that we have our little structure built here, I have a nice piece of cotton. This is just like cotton you can get at any store, like a cotton swab. And I have myself a magnesium or a ferrocium rod. There we go. So we're going to take the cotton and we're going to very gently pack it in right in there. So now all this here that you can see that's on the inside, we found a little bit of cardboard. There's some cardboard packed in there, and there's a bunch of birch bark that we'd found that was nice and dry. So now I'm going to strike her up. And there we have it. We have our fire going. Now the next most important thing is to kind of nurse that fire so that we get it going real well. Look at that. So now what's going to happen is all of the fire is going to be concentrated to dry out this wood if it's a little bit damp on the inside. As you can see, we got some fire going there. Right on.
Well, this has actually worked better than either one of us expected, because this wood was really wet. We tried to use as much of the shavings from the inside of that we'd already taken, and because of that, it's already fairly dry. But as you can see, it worked great.
Yeah, we got ourselves a beautiful fire going here. I mean, even just trying to feed it a little bit, putting some of the birch bark on it, just to ensure that we're going to have a good fire. It's going really well. It's going really, really well. Try not to burn yourself. Always make sure you use fire safety. I'm the Wolfman. Please consider subscribing.
I'm Den from Den's Diatribe. If you liked it, subscribe, like, make a comment. If you can suggest some way that we screwed up or some way to make it better, let us know. Bye.
Now I'm going to apply some
Pressure to the exact wrong spot.